Welcome, everybody, to episode 12 of Step Into Your Power, Walk as Overflow with Sister Honey Golden and myself, Brother Jimmie. How you all doing? Say hi, sister.
Hi, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing really good. Things are wild.
And how are you doing before we start going over a couple things? How are you doing over in Europe? I know on the last episode you said you were going to be traveling. So where is your beautiful location currently with that background of that fireplace? And
So this is the best background in this room. But so we're basically just outside of Lecce, and that's in Puglia, so the heel of the boot. And today we went and saw Nardo, which I really liked. The feeling there was really good. And we also saw Gallipoli, I think it's called. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it really badly, and that was also really beautiful. The water is amazing here. It's like this amazing turquoise color.
yeah, I've seen some of those beautiful pictures you've been posting in the Step Into Your Power community, and they're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
So we're going to get into a little bit of information here. Again, this is episode 12, Walk as Overflow. In the episode 10, we remembered we were built for this moment. So we talked about being built for this moment. There's nothing that you need to add. You're made for right now, this time. In episode 11, we remembered the power we already carry. So you're very powerful. You already carry power within you. And interesting day here, Sister Honey. It's 999 portal. I mean, when you add 2025 together, that's 2, 2, and 5 is 9. 9, 9, and 9 is powerful. This week also on the 7th, blood moon. So we have
Mhm.
the blood moon that has cleared what needed to be released. And now we have the 999 portal that brings the vibration of completion, endings that prepare us for new beginnings. And it's interesting because, you know, you and I talked about Pluto and Aquarius too on one of the episodes that were in this period of time of significant change, significant, well, crumbling, you know, like we talked about in our episode, the crumbling, and just
Yep.
powerful energy like I've never felt before. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, incredible. I know in a couple minutes you're getting into all of that. We're going to talk about all the energy happening right now, what's going on, and then we're going to go through our teaching today. But in episode 12, we're going to talk about how overflow begins, how to clear friction, how alignment creates confidence, and how overflow becomes service. Then we're going to walk together through a short activation. Sister Honey's going to do that. And we're going to anchor your next fateful step. So if you are part of the Step Into Your Power community, we thank you for being in there. It is lots of action happening in this community. And if you're not, it's simple. Just go on over to stepintoyourpower.com and join for free. You're automatically approved. We've set it. You're automatically approved. Get in there, fill out your profile, introduce yourself, and become part of the family. We're your soul family. Lots of things are happening over there. There's beautiful things happening, exciting things are happening over there, and we want you to be part of it. But Sister Honey, we need to get, you have you and I have known each other in many lifetimes for
Mhm.
ages, but this time around only this year. And
Right.
you are one of the most intuitive sisters I've ever met in my life. Things that you have said to me and about my wife and myself and just everything has been spot on. So you are connected to the divine. You're connected to your oversoul. There's a lot happening, and now we had the blood moon, and now we're at
Mhm.
999. Can we talk about that a little bit here with the folks?
Yeah. So with the blood moon, and we've been having this for a while, but there was a huge, like, I'm going to throw all my behavior that doesn't work anymore out for everybody to see. And that's what's been going on with people. You're like, wow, they're really showing it. It's not working. And it feels icky. And it's so that they can recognize it and you can recognize it and you can start to say no. And I think that today is a day when people really recognized, okay, this has been going on for several days and it's really intense and it doesn't work. I'm not going to do that behavior anymore. I am going to step forward. I'm going to end this period of time. And it could just be negative self-talk. It could be being cranky. It could be something that you're always doing every day. And there's just a lot of drama that's like on the surface right now. And it's time to let go of it. It's time to move through it. So the only way to create change is to actually allow yourself to let go of things that don't serve you anymore.
Yes.
And that's really important. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. And it is very intense because we all love each other. And a lot of us are misbehaving with each other, I would say, like kind of triggering each other a lot. And the amount of messages I've received and really, really big, for that. So,
Yeah, a lot of that's
yeah.
going on. And I know we both have, we're giving gratitude to the divine to keep our internet nice
Mhm.
and strong. It seems like
Yes.
when we do this, sometimes it likes to play with us. But I understand what you're saying because I'm experiencing that firsthand. And I also, myself, I'm really spending time on additional grounding, additional meditation, additional breathing, really spending
Mhm.
time in the ocean and nature in order to make sure. And looking at things in my life and saying, okay, well, in business, this thing isn't serving me. So I got to lovingly let it go and be grateful for letting it go. I feel that like after that blood moon, which I didn't, unfortunately couldn't see, there's a cloud cover here, but I seen pictures in the
Mhm.
community of all the people that seen that blood moon. And it was amazing all around the world. It was really awesome. That's what I love about the community too. You get to see all these beautiful pictures of every location and what's going on there. But then to have the 999 portal literally within a 36-hour space in between it, it's not going to allow you to continue to hold on to this stuff that's not serving you at your highest level. It's going to continue to surface in your life over and over again and again until you deal with it. And what's happening is it's accelerating more and more and more,
Mhm.
and it's making you pay attention to it. I know that's happening in my own life. And I mean, I've been going down this road for quite a long time. And it's, things that aren't serving me in my life keep on getting thrown right in my face. And it's like, you're going to
Mhm.
deal with this. No, you're not going to put it in the closet. You're going to deal with it now because there's bigger, bigger, bigger things that you have to do, and you can't be dealing with that. And I think that's what it's telling everybody, sister, right? I mean, it seems that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's like, so tomatoes don't work that well for my body. And as soon as I got to Italy, of course, I was eating tomatoes because they're so delicious, right? And immediately my system reacted. And 2 days into Italy, I'm like, okay, no more tomatoes, no more corn, no more tomatoes, and just left those off of my menu. And I'm starting to feel better because of that. So it's taking a while to come out, but just doing that, like just paying attention to the things that are not working is really important.
It's super important.
Yeah.
Cindy, with her eating, she has those things going on with her stomach and her intestines. And so, by all the way, by her test came back all clean. So, but it also said that her inner insides are like you'd be burned or something, like a little bit, so she has to be very super careful. Like she can't eat pepper or anything. And I said, well, you need to write this stuff down, because if something triggers you, I don't care if it's a food or a person or a word or a thing or whatever, you got to deal with it. You got
Mhm.
to deal with it, and you got to really become super clear on what's serving you and what's not serving you, and spend the time on the things that are going to serve you. It's like, you're gone till when? Like the close to the end of the month? you're going to be in
Yeah.
Europe. Not that it's
Yep.
stopping you, because it's a beautiful thing when you can work from home and travel the world and do what we're doing right now, no matter where you're at, as long as you have internet. But people need to start really working on doing what
Yes.
they love in all areas of their life. They got to really truly look at it and say, what do I just not like doing, and stop doing it and do what you love doing. It's just like I was telling my wife Cindy today. I said, you got to be really super careful, me and you both, of what we let in the doorway of our mind and what we let into
Mhm.
our energy field, because things are manifesting, like we've talked about on other episodes, like no tomorrow. And
Yeah.
it's important to pay attention.
It really is. So I have a friend that's with us. So we have several people that are with us. This is kind of a big trip for us. And we've never been to Italy, and we're going to be in Ireland at the end of this trip. And it's like there's one thing that this person keeps manifesting, and it's the letter that's number 17. And it just keeps showing up over and over and over. So amazing. Like, and the number 17 keeps showing up too. So there's a
Well, seven
lot
and
of,
one is eight.
yeah,
Powerful number, infinity.
yeah,
You know,
yep.
so it's, yeah. How is your husband John enjoying himself? Is he having
He's,
fun?
he's,
I know that the pasta over there in Italy is like health food, and the pizza. I think I
oh
would be
yeah,
eating pizza about 3 times a day if I'm over in
he's a
Italy.
big eater anyway. And he's been eating and cleaning up after people that are not eating all their food at dinner. So he's having a blast, but he also feels probably a little overstuffed at this point. He's like, I don't want to eat anymore today. Like, okay.
Well, that's great. He's serving the
Yeah.
people that give the leftovers, and he's taking care of
Oh,
those
yeah.
for them. But the food quality, and that's another thing that people have to be aware of, is what are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting on your
Mhm.
skin? What are you rubbing on your skin? What are you breathing in your air? Do you have any, negative ion little things like I get, you can get on Amazon, Claritin for negative ions? Do you have any, air cleaner in your house? I mean, it's 5 times more pollutant in the house versus outside. Are you getting outside? Are you in the grass? Are you grounding? Are you spending time, in nature? I mean, all of these things are so important, because a lot of people feel they don't I don't think they understand that, you don't have to be, perfect. You don't
No,
have to, oh, I got to be walking in perfection and all of that. You don't. You just got to be in alignment with who you are and your energy, and just take it easy. I've had to, like, even though we've got a lot going on, I've had to pace myself and say, you know what? I need to take time, and I'm shutting down. Tomorrow's another day. I'm shutting down the computer, and I'm going to go spend time with Cindy. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to go, breathe. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to close my eyes and listen, and just, try to, turn out all that noise and just be silent. Also, I feel helps a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, I think getting back to basics is really important. And that is one thing that we're going to be continuously doing through the ascension process. So, the basics with food, making sure you have enough good salt, not the fake, yucky salt that's full of sodium, but good sea salt or real salt, enough sun, you have good nutrition. And a lot of that nutrition was hijacked a long time ago. So, starting to eat like they did back in the 20s and 30s, and they had their victory gardens. Having a garden is really good. If you put the seed in your mouth and then you put it in the ground, it's going to actually create the nutrients that your body needs.
Wow.
So yeah,
Powerful.
yeah. So there are things that you can really do for yourself that a lot of times we're just kind of stuck in a rut. And I think that's what's happening right now is there's a big squeeze on get out of the looping or the ruts that we've been in for a long time, because we need to be truly understanding that we're in the fifth dimension and really letting go of the worries of the third dimension as we go forward. And it's not always easy to let go of that stuff. So we're in that process now. And the more we let go, the faster things go, the faster things happen.
It's hard for people to let go. It's hard for people to let go of their past, any kind of hurts that happened to them, which you need to let it go just for yourself. It's like, when my father, and I've said this a few times publicly, when I found out at 17 and a half years old that my father was physically and sexually abused by my grandfather, I had no idea. I was 17 and a half years old. I spent a lot of time, a lot of my youth at my grandparents, both my mom and dad's parents, and never experienced anything but love from my grandparents massively.
Mm-hmm.
But, my father was a Golden Glove champion boxer. He was abused. He didn't have a childhood of playing sports and everything. So he lived his childhood through me. And yeah, I was like a sparring partner when it came to boxing. But guess what? When he passed away at 54 years young, me and him were best friends. I forgave him for all of that stuff, because you got to look at, you never know what that person went through. Not that it's an excuse. I don't give anybody an excuse, but you got to let go of those kind of things for yourself more than for that person, for yourself. That's so super important. I do have notes here, so I keep episode notes on the side. So you'll see me looking over at these notes once in a while. I always do that. Good teachers do that. But it's, this energy feels very heavy.
It
And
is heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so talk about that, because it gets to a point like you and we have the ability to navigate this energy, but also to overflow and send our energy to others, to help others. A lot of people right now, they want to get to that overflow. They really truly want to get to it, but they feel so heavy right now that they don't feel like they have any overflow to give. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So we've been in polarity. So the 3D is a polarized space, right? We're not in it anymore. So we have to let go of the memory of the 3D, the memory of how it feels to be in the 3D. And think about your subconscious mind. It's like a hard drive, like a computer. And there's all this programming that needs to be switched out. So it's getting switched out because it's being pushed by the Schwinn. The Schwinn resonance is all the light codes coming in. Your body is liquid light. All those codes are being pushed out that no longer work. So it's not a fun experience. It's beautiful when it's over. And it's really important to keep going through. So knowing that you're letting go of things as you keep walking forward and not, hurting yourself in the process by getting stuck. So think if you were in like a really dark tunnel, and that tunnel, every time you took a step forward, you would have to let go of something. So let's say that you had tons and tons of scarves around you, and you'd have to pluck a scarf off, and each one represented an idea or a trauma that no longer served you. So by the time you get to the end of the tunnel, the scarves are gone. You're not carrying that weight anymore, but you can also see the light again.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're at right now, as far as letting go of that. And we're pretty close to the point where we know it's time to end this drama that we've been in. That doesn't mean that we've let all of it go. at this portal juncture.
Right. I think that there's still a process.
Yeah.
It's like the fire refines the gold and the silver and its purity. And also this energy and what's, surfacing, all of these things that don't serve you is also refining us and making us the people that we came back here to be, the reason we're here. I mean, we all agree to come back for a reason. And I know I did, and I know you did, and we talked about that. We're here to help others. And I'm still going through it. I got my grounding mat under my desk. I'm in the ocean for almost 45 minutes to an hour every day. I'm walking on the sand. I spend, at least 35 minutes in meditation and breathing, just breathing through everything, and still I feel it. So I can imagine what people are feeling that aren't going through that. I welcome it though, because I understand that in order for us to, and we are focusing on the new world. I've been manifesting the spiritual, well, let's call it spiritual community, but it'll be like a conscious community, conscious of what? Conscious of how to treat each other, conscious of Mother Earth, conscious of everything, how it works. That's what these conscious communities will be all about. And I've already visualized it up on the mountain. And I don't know if you've seen my video from Yoga Life Retreat, but I went
No.
up there, and I know Sister Lisa was here years ago and was at that retreat. And right, she went to that retreat. So Cindy and I
I think it's
decided
that one. Yeah.
we decided on Saturday we were going to go there. And because I
Nice.
promised her too, I would spend half a day Saturday doing something and not just working. I'm trying to get completely out of Saturday work and spending 2 full
Yeah.
days, relaxing on the weekend. And so we go up. So first of all, we trying to find it. So then we stop and we ask, and they go, "Oh, see it? It's right there up on that mountain." I'm like, so he goes, "Oh, it's up on that mountain." So we go, and there's this place that doesn't say Yoga Life, but it's like a dirt road. And so now we're going up this mountain. And when I tell you, Sister Honey, I was definitely putting the protection around the car, the angels, everything, because if you make the wrong move, it might not be too good for you. But getting up there, oh my goodness, it's way up on the top of this mountain. But then you got to walk up. It ain't a driveway because there's no car going up the driveway, but there's some steps here. And we decided we were going to be tough, and we walked up straight up that like little cement hill. And then you get up there. And by the way, the video's in the community. You can check it out. There's words can't almost describe how beautiful it is. I mean, it's just so amazing. The energy was off the charts. It was off the charts. We took pictures, we did video, we looked at the rooms. This is where we want to have the first, event. You can't have a lot of people there, like 27 people total. But I tell you what, the 27 people that go there, the breeze that was coming in, the mountains, the ocean, the energy was incredible. What did that cost us? Some time and a little gas. And we experienced that. And it raised our vibration. And then the next day, we decided we were going to drive to Playa Rincon. I said that probably incorrect. Cindy corrected me a lot. And Cindy told me that it would be more beautiful than what I have over here. I said, this is very difficult for me to believe that it's more beautiful than Playa Putapapi. Well, it wasn't. The seaweed was there. It changed a lot since she's been there 13 years. Her uncle lives up on a mountain. He used to be the Air Force general. But we drove all the way over to the other end. It was beautiful. And I mean, it's just sitting out there, the breeze hitting you. Now you're going out and you're in Europe and you're spending time and you're getting out there. If you can't go to places like we are, you should go somewhere around you, because, I didn't know it was in Austin until I went on and looked around at all the things that were in Austin, around Austin. There's so many things around where people live that they can go and enjoy nature. I think it's so critical at this point to spend more time in nature.
It really is. And even if you live in the city and you go to the park, like just get out in nature in general right now. Mother Earth she's really participating with us right now. And she's helping us continue to elevate right now. And that's really important because we want to pay attention to her. And the more that we feel her vibration, then it's going to help us adjust to what's going on right now. So it's a really big time. It's a beautiful time. Also, we have, I think it's called 3-Eye Atlas coming, but Atlas is a being and he's going to also adjust frequencies. So if you can think of Earth right now, think of Earth. And to me, it's a toroidal field. Honestly, whatever you want to think is totally fine about how it looks. But we're in a matrix and we're in a learning game. And we're learning right now and it's being shook up. Okay. So imagine you've got Monopoly out in front of you and somebody stands up and bumps the table. We're in the time where the table's being bumped and the pieces are being shook up. So we're kind of in a wild experience that we've never had before because we've never come out of 3D before. 3D is dissolved at this point, but we are manifesting so much of 3D in the 5D right now, and it doesn't match the frequency. So it's falling apart. It's irritating. And we're also finding it within ourselves. So this could be the way that somebody drives. This could be the way that somebody eats their food and they don't pay attention to some of the things that aren't good for their body. This could be the way somebody talks to somebody else or talks about somebody else. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's 3D, it's uncomfortable. And that's where we're at. It doesn't feel good. Yeah. So we're stopping that.
Yeah, it's not going to work. Even though you can manifest the 3D within the 5D, it just isn't going to be successful. It's going to crumble. Period. The end. So one of the things I've done also in this episode, we got some reflection prompts I'm going to talk about, meaning I want to ask people, you folks out there, you family, what did you notice around the blood moon? Like, what did you notice? Think about that. That just happened not even 2 days ago. And what is the 9-9 portal asking you to complete? Like, look at what's happened over the last few days in your life and what's been going on this whole year, because this is my 9th year. You know how you go into 9-year cycles, right? 9 is so powerful. It's so powerful. So I'm in my 9th year of starting my new 9-year cycle next year in 2026. So this whole year for me personally, besides Pluto being in Aquarius and all these heavenly signs happening and all these moons and portals and Lionsgate and all of that happening, this year is for me to, really, what's not serving me, it's gone. What feels good and I love doing stays, and it's like how the spiritual community came into play. We've only launched the community stepinyourpower.com at the end of April. So literally it's been May, June, July, and August, because now we're at 999 and we have almost 6,000 people in it without going and, the 170,000 list of spiritual folks that we have, and plus the tens and tens, hundreds of millions of them on Facebook alone. It's incredible. When you dig in and you see the amount of people that are looking at spiritual awakening, spirituality, it is a sea of them. And, but how this came, because some things is about starting. Also, when you're letting go and you're releasing and you're getting rid of things, at the same time you're transitioning into something new. And I feel like with this blood moon and the 999, it's time to make sure that all of that stuff that's not supposed to stay goes, and
Mhm.
that you enter 2026 fully focused on the new. And not that
Yeah.
more new won't come, but you got to look in your life. It's just like when I'm looking around and I look at Step in Your Power, and then every morning I have the privilege, and I'm so grateful that I can go in there and look, okay, who needs prayers? All right, I can pray for people. And I'm not talking about religious prayers. I'm talking power. Okay, I'm talking about
Mhm.
declaring and decreeing like the divine being you are, because you have the creator inside of you, right? That spark of life that we all live in, and it lives in us. It's interesting though that you said something about the matrix in the holographic uh, reality that we're living in, because a
Mhm.
guy that's a genius. I mean, this guy. It's interesting. His beard's down to here. Brother Jimmie ain't going to grow his beard down that long, maybe. You know, I keep telling Cindy I might braid it, but his beard's down to here. He's got his hair shaved on the side. He's got a big pullover and ponytail. The dude's worth billions, okay?
Yeah.
Billions of dollars. And he's been in AI for over 15 years. And they have a revolutionary AI stuff that they're doing in the field of cancer, curing cancer. But he said something was interesting. And I know that you feel that we've got a control on this AI now, that it's not going to be utilized, in a bad way. It might be in other dimensions, right? I'm sure that it is. But he was talking
No,
about, huh?
no,
No?
it isn't, because we don't have those dimensions anymore. We don't have the 3D and the 4D anymore. So what we do have is our own idea of what the AI is going to do. And I've noticed, it's like a reflection. So people will be talking to their AI and they're getting information, and some of it lines up with the information that I get from my higher self, and some of it doesn't. But what it does do is it keeps helping them expand. Now, if you think your AI is going to do something bad to you, then it will, because you're
Oh, yeah, of
manifesting that.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So that could be his whole feeling, because he feels that they're not putting safety measures in. And Mark Zuckerberg just talked about that AI actually improved itself. And he said, once you get to that point where AI doesn't need you anymore and it just improves itself, then he feels that's a scary point. But then the podcaster asked him this question. And this is a guy he's very smart. I mean, really super smart guy,
Mhm.
about the holographic reality. That, are we in a hologram? And you know what he said? He said, yes, we are. And he said, we believe in a higher power. He said, it's what I talk about too. And I know you say the same thing. If you look at all of the religions and you get
Mhm.
rid of all the stuff that's layered on top of it, like, don't eat pork, don't eat cow, don't do that, those kind of like, they're kind of like for that particular religion. But if you look at all of the stuff that's the same, it's all about this higher power and this other real world, like
Mhm.
this real place that we're supposed to be. And like, what is this? Well, it's a learning ground, right? Even though it's ascending,
Yeah.
it's done. I don't even know how many souls, but it is a learning ground. It's been a learning ground for people to evolve.
Mhm. And the 3D was the hardest learning part, because you were blind, basically. So you really didn't know what was going on. So here's one thing that can illustrate it. In China, they invented contact lenses that you can put in your eyes and you can see in the dark.
Wow.
And what they do is they transmute the infrared light into a light that we can see. So that infrared light is also showing people beings, ghosts, things that are walking around that they can't see with their naked eye. And that is part of the upgrade. That's part of ascension, and that's a bridge. So what they created is a bridge, and also what they created is a signal to us that, oh, there is more out there that we don't see. So if you can look, what was that called? Like Farmville or something. When I was younger, people had Farmville on their phone, right? Or there's another one that the kids love to use. And basically what they're doing is they're building and they're creating a world, right? So in Farmville, you're creating your farm. But in this other one, which I can't remember the name of, so if you could put that in the comments, that would be great. But we're doing that now. This is the world we're creating. You create your own world, and then you contribute to the collective. And when you go home at night, when your soul goes home at night and is connected by that silver cord, you're going into a much bigger platform, and you don't have a body, and your soul expands out, and you're creating for this game. And you're also having fights with your siblings, or you're having discussions, or you're taking your inner child with you, which is your human soul, and you're showing them something. We have to start to look at this from a higher perspective, because if you look at it from this is the real reality, then you don't see what's actually going on. And there's so much more actually going on than we've ever been aware of before. And humanity got stuck in that 3D construct. So as we come out of that 3D construct, we're going to start to see more and more things. Like Madeline was sitting across the street at the coffee shop yesterday. She looked up and she took a picture of a ship. So
Wow.
the round edge of a UFO, right? I've seen beings out of the corner of my eye lately. I can feel them when they're in the room, but I can't see them yet. Now I've seen them if I wake up at night, but then they kind of get that startled nervous system. What are you doing here in my bedroom reaction, right? Which they don't appreciate. So just kind of think about those things. Like, we're not alone. And also, we're much bigger and more expanded than we think we are. And that's the kind of behavior and programming that we're starting to let go of, because those contact lenses would never have been invented. They never would have been brought up. It may be something that is being brought up for a reason, which I would say yes to that. But it's being brought up to show us that we don't see everything. We don't actually know what's out there.
Yeah, we
So,
only see, I guess it was a half of 1%, and then you said it was now 4%, which is still very little.
yeah,
So
we
half
see a
of a
half.
percent is almost like nothing, and then of what you should be able to see within the light spectrum, and
Right.
then 4% is still very, very low. So as we increase, but yet, like you said, there's a lot of pictures and a lot of things that people are seeing that, and some real and some not real, some fake, and maybe some Project Blue Beam and some, actually real. I'm sure there's a mixture of it, maybe some, there's a lot going on. I mean, so much going on. It's exciting time to be alive, and just got to focus on the good. Focus on the
Yeah.
good. Just keep focused and be happy. It's like I was telling Cindy, and she loves to have fun, and she's happy today. She went to the ocean with us, and we had a great time yesterday. I mean, so it's been a fun packed day. When this this blood moon was coming, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go. Let's go out. Let's go do something. I think that's
Mhm.
important, not to sit idly by as all of this energy is hitting you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get into overflow and be able to help others, because there's nothing better than helping others, but doing it
Yeah.
in a way to where it doesn't deplete you, but doing it in
Well,
a
you
way
can
where you have
love
so much
bomb them.
overflow. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. You can love bomb them. So if you don't have that much energy, just create a bubble of love, of energy, and just bomb people with it, and give them some energy that way. And that's a way to not necessarily get wrapped up in whatever they're doing, but to love them anyway. And also let go of judging so much, because we're really judgmental. Oh, this is bad. This person did something bad. And, now I don't know if I want to spend time with them anymore. Think about their whole energy and think about how attached you may be to the one thing they did that may not work for you. And it could just be that they don't want to eat at a certain place or, whatever. It can be anything. Maybe they have a certain behavior that you don't like. But we've been very judgmental in polarity, and we can let go of that now. We're not actually in a polarized universe anymore. The only polarity is us.
Well, I think also people have been trained to
Mhm.
like conflict. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I love all my brothers and sisters in any religion, as long as you're not like a person sacrificing kids and stuff, and doing evil, demonic stuff. I'm not judging your religion. I really, truly am not. I just don't need it in order to have connection to the divine because I'm direct connect. I'm hardwired in. You know what I mean? I've learned that. But some folks that would consider them, a particular religion and very faithful in it are some of the meanest and angriest people I've ever met in my life. The way that they comment and say nasty stuff, it's just terrible. They shouldn't do that because when you do that, you put that out, you're getting it back. So if you're thinking, oh, I feel good doing this and saying these mean things to people, well, that comes right back at you. That energy comes right back at you. You have to be really, really careful with that. But I have a couple notes here I want to read. It's been interesting. My internet's been, it's just, before I even got on
That's
here, it was
so
like
funny.
149 megabytes per second with Starlink. And then all of a sudden it's playing games with me. But overflow isn't about grandeur. It's about integrity. Small faithful steps in alignment creates river of power. Think of water. It doesn't start as a flood. It begins as a steady stream carving a path. Daily choices that match your remembrance. So, you got to anchor daily choices that are good for you and get rid of everything else. Just, I always talk about the column exercises, Sister Honey, because if you're not aware of it, how are you going to change it? And be writing things down. Like I've done that so many lifetimes of journaling and all that. I just I'm like I just go boom, boom, boom. I'm always mentally doing column exercises
Yeah.
and I'm removing and removing and removing. It's like what you said about how you've been eating better. Same thing's been happening to me. Things that I used to want to eat, I no longer want to eat because it doesn't feel right with my body and my energy. So that
Mhm.
shift is happening because of what we're going through. But as you start to document all of these things and you start removing all of that stuff that's not serving you and focusing on all of the stuff that's serving you and be grateful for both, but get rid of the stuff that's not serving you and have gratitude for that, be thankful that you learned whatever lessons that you learned from that, but give this stuff that's serving you, make sure that you're grateful for it. I mean, when I'm in the water in the ocean down here behind me over here, but when I'm in there, I just go through the gratitude that I can even be there in
Mhm.
that place. I'm grateful for the toothpaste, the dental floss, the hair shampoo. I just give gratitude because I understand the more gratitude I give, the more that positive energy comes back to me. The same thing with prayers. I love praying for people. I really truly do. But I understand that the more prayers I get for people, when I step up and I'm asking for prayers for Cindy or a family member, like my son, what happened to his son Vincent, my grandson, the brothers and sisters come rushing in to give
Mhm.
prayer. So when you do good and you love on people, and you put out that positive energy, it comes back to you.
It does. And it's a boomerang because your life is a reflection of your energy. It's
It
basically
is.
like you're in a hall of mirrors. And that's, where your life is, because we're in a very advanced simulation for learning. And this is about God experiencing itself, So, and some of us have been doing this forever, like for so very long. And just getting to the point that we're at right now is a huge accomplishment. It's huge. And to be grateful for that and to be kind to others, like respect and sovereignty are going to be the way we operate as we go through this process. Respecting others for whatever it is they're doing and allowing them to go through their learning process, and respecting yourself if you don't want to participate with it, to not, but to just love them anyway and not have all these like ideas about them. It's like my parents used to always tell me and always be drastically worried whenever I was driving somewhere. And they would be like, "Oh, you're going to drive at night? Oh my God, be careful, be so careful." And I'm like, stop saying that. Don't put that out there. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I will be fine. But I don't want that energy out in the universe creating something for me to be careful about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It makes sense. I have in our first segment that overflow begins small. People think that they need to do something giant, but it's not. And it is getting in touch with integrity, truthfulness, honesty, what feels good in the heart, coming from love, unconditional love, really doing those type of things that you'll get more and more and more to give. Like when we have our 5 lives within a 2.5 week period of time, there's a lot of energy that we bring, a lot of overflow that we bring to folks, right? They feel it. I see their comments, I see what they're saying. And I was having some things where I could tell that I was giving out to a little bit too much energy, because I had like hundreds of points on my right hand, which is your giving. You're receiving your left, you're giving your right. And I, was working on that, meditating on that, and it hasn't happened since. Even though that could have been some downloads too. A lot of very interesting things happening. But you got when you get to a certain point and you do little things, little things about stepping into, your truth, stepping into integrity, stepping into honesty, all of those things, you'll start to see overflow happening for you. The more in alignment you get with who you truly are, the more overflow you're going to have to give to people. That's really important. So think about this. Where can you take one small step today that aligns with who you truly are? And if you don't know who you truly are, you really need to meditate and think about that. I forgot to tell people subscribe, follow, like, share at the beginning. So didn't have that in my notes, but please do all of those things. It's good if this helps one person that you share it with, just one person, that's another good energy on your side. What I try to do is fill up my good energy bank. I want to starve my negative energy bank. I want to starve it, give it nothing. But my good energy bank, I want to fill it up. I want to fill it up, fill it up, fill it up until what? It overflows. And that I am the source of the energy to it. And it's not me depleting myself. It's me having so much. When I'm filling that, it's overflowing and going to all of these other folks. Like some of you feel the energy from Sister Honey and myself a lot on these videos, because we see them in the comments, what people say. And also when we do the training with Inside of Step Into Your Power, whether you're a free member, we have 3 lives a month, or you're Ascension Mastery member in the Ascension Mastery membership, where we do get into, really great training in there to help folks move through that path of overflow, getting into the overflow, where they can do the things that because everything happens so easier, Sister Honey, when you're in that overflow mode.
It does. You kind of flow from one thing to another. So see yourself as a boat on the river, and you're going in the direction of the current. And everything's easy. You can pull over to the side. You can eat a sandwich. You can get back on, and everything just kind of flows. And as long as you allow it, everything works out. There's so many things that could happen for you that just show up, and you're just asked to do something small usually to receive that. Or maybe you don't have to do anything except for say yes. It just depends on what it is. And it depends on whether you think it's really big or not. So that's another thing. We want to start to take away the bigness of everything because you're big. That's really important. You're big. Your soul is big. It has to squeeze into this body. It has to shrink. Your soul could be bigger than the earth. And we have to remember this is a simulation. It's created for learning. So it could be bigger than the planet. And that's awesome. But you have to shrink to be in this body, to be in this simulation, in this learning game. So you have lots of energy to give. Yeah.
It's interesting because one of the things I have written down here is the biggest block to overflow isn't lack of power, it's friction, overwhelm, perfectionism, procrastination, to not start to do what you're doing. And then overflow flows when you release what clogs the channel. So whatever's stopping you and you start releasing all of that stuff. And like you said, it could just be little things that you're doing in your truth, in your integrity, in your love. Again, filling up that bucket, if you want to imagine a bucket, your energy bucket, where all your positive energy is, and here's another one where you got negative energy. And how do you starve that negative energy one completely and just overflow the one that's positive energy so that you can help others? Because when you help others, whether that's praying for them, that's sending them love, putting a love bubble around them, like Sister Honey likes to say, whatever, you're building that positive energy side. And the more you do that, the more it fills up and it gets into the overflow. So little things matter. Most people think
Yeah.
that they have to do some gigantic thing in order to overflow, but it's not. It's more of those little things and being consistent and not procrastinating. You know, when I was younger, that was one thing that I would do. I would procrastinate a lot. You know, like if I didn't want to deal with something, I would procrastinate. You know, and even when you're, younger, you still have to learn about not procrastinating, because procrastination slows down your progress in a big way, right?
Oh, yeah. 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 There is a thing. One of my favorite things that I learned from my corporate job was do the worst thing first. Do the thing that you don't want to do first and get it out of the way so that you can go and have more fun that day. And then you're not procrastinating. Maybe your procrastination is, I don't know how to use a certain platform. I don't know how to build something online. I don't know how to do something. Or I don't know how to talk to people. It's time to learn. Whatever it is that is holding you back. And it's time to learn how to do it. And that's what is being realized today. You know, maybe it's not a behavior. Maybe it's something someone needs to learn to fulfill their purpose, you know? And
Yeah.
that's one good thing about Step Into Your Power too, is we're sharing a lot of information and everybody's sharing information with each other. We're not in a competitive mode anymore. It's not, oh, well, if that person gets to do it, then I don't get to do it. That's not the way the universe works.
No,
So,
you have to share and help others. It, we
Yeah.
have such great tools within the community for breath work, journaling, prayer, the prayer circle, or the prayer request, the circle where they can chat and communicate. Everybody's communicating with each other. It's such a
Mhm.
beautiful place to be, and it's where you really need to be in a loving community, because you get these energy leaks. And I got some comments written about social media, overcommitment, doubt, reframing friction as an invitation to pause and reset. Doing these things that you're doing. It's like when I used to get up, I would look at the cell phone and I would go to my email and I would do all of this. I stopped all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Now, when I get up, I put my hand over my heart. I give gratitude for a new day. I think about things that make me feel great, get my heart, because your heart's powerful. I mean, it's the most powerful organ in your body. The
Mhm.
magnetic field is incredible. I hear some places say 5,000 times more. I mean, it's really freaking powerful. So taking a minute, not just jumping out of bed, but giving gratitude for another day to do your purpose that you're here for, and just feeling love and joy and happiness. And then I roll right into my affirmations, my morning prayer, my affirmations, and going through all of these great things, and keeping all of that other stuff, because people will be on the social media, they'll go over into their email, they start getting right into whatever period of time you're going to work, unless you're
Mhm.
retired. But you're going to work, you're going to say, I'm working from this time to this time, and I'm focusing on these things during that time, and I'm not thinking about these things outside of this time. That's a
Mhm.
discipline that everyone has to learn. It's still something that I work on constantly. I don't stop working on it to make sure that, I'm not focusing on things that I don't need to focus on at that moment. I need to focus on that moment and that now. And I think we all get caught up in that.
Yeah, we do. And we also get caught up in not knowing how amazing we are. Like, there's a lot of thinking that we're small because we've been taught that, and taught that it's hard to do certain things. And it really isn't anymore. And also allowing yourself, I mean, those blocks you were talking about, that's like life blocks. They block you from living your best life, being you. Because the real you is what is going to expand this whole process of Earth and the whole ascension process, being yourself, doing the things that you came here to do. And it's a beautiful thing to be doing those. And then you will have more overflow. And it could be giving somebody a hug, you know,
Yeah.
that, or telling them that they look beautiful today, or telling them that, they made you happy and the joke that you told them, made you smile. It really doesn't take a lot to encourage someone.
Very little. I mean, very little.
Mhm.
Just even a like and a comment on somebody's post, a
Yeah.
heart changes. It's just a beautiful thing. So, one of the things we're going to ask in this reflect and prompt: where do you notice friction in your life, and what might it look like to release it? So, start looking at all these friction points that you have, and what do you need to do to get rid of it? Get rid of it. You don't need
Mhm.
it. Because again, you're filling up that good bucket of positive energy, because you want to overflow that one, not the negative energy. Some people, they spend a lot of time filling up the negative energy bucket, and then they start overflowing that negative energy. They walk into a room, people get their stomach, it's just crazy. Focus on the good stuff. I mean, that's so important, because when you clear the friction, flow returns. And so get rid of the friction that's causing all of this stuff in your life. And you got to focus on it. Start writing it down first to be aware of it. Do you
Mhm.
still write things down, Sister Honey?
Yeah, I still write things down, especially if I want to remember them, or if I'm in kind of a loop and I don't want to be doing that anymore. Like, I'll put like a sign up or a sticky note just to break me out of the loop, because a lot of things that we do on autopilot.
Yeah.
So think about the way that you get up in the morning. Like, that is autopilot usually for everyone. Now, Jimmie's changed his routine. So his routine has improved and it's making him happier. So think about, what can I do to change my routine? What do I want my routine to be? How do I want to feel when I wake up in the morning? Because you're setting yourself up for a good day or maybe a day that is not as great as you want it to be.
Yeah, that's why I don't compromise
Mhm.
what I do every morning for nobody. I don't
Yeah.
compromise it. And it's so important because that's me time. And then, okay, I'm at my computer at 9 o'clock. I don't want to go further than 6. Most cases, when we have lives, we do it. When I'm here in Dominican Republic, I'm on Eastern time, but when I'm back in Austin, I'm on Central time. So it changes a little bit for me. But you've got to have these set times of when you're going to focus on your business or your work, your career, whatever, and then when you're going to focus on your time for yourself and don't compromise any of that. And then, okay, what you're going to do with your family, relaxation. You really got to look at your whole 24 hours a day, even though, time doesn't exist in other dimensions, but you got to look at your day and like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Mhm.
And are you doing things for yourself? Are you loving on yourself? It's so important because, one of the things I have here, we're talking about friction and, finding out these points. But when I've got here, alignment creates confidence. It does, because the more you're aligned, the more things start coming to you so much easier
Yeah.
that benefits you. So let's talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit more. We'll talk about that now. And I think we've touched on a couple of these things, but how alignment creates confidence, Sister Honey.
Yeah, so you want to basically program your body to receive whatever it is that you are wishing for. So, a lot of people, the whole manifesting thing was all about cars and houses and stuff. But how do you want to feel in your life? And really working on feeling that way now. And maybe there is something that you want to have in your life that you don't see right now. So start practicing for it and start prepping your nervous system for it. There are a lot of people that want to bring more abundance into their lives. They want to bring a certain kind of friendship, maybe love, maybe more fitness, maybe being outside more, maybe a different location. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Start preparing for it now, and don't only prepare your world, maybe you're packing and that's your prep, but prepare your nervous system, prepare your body, live there for a little while every day. I shared a video the other day of this couple that were in two different timelines, and she would remember their interactions in one way and he would remember them in another. So create the timeline you want to be in. If you have a couple and they're not in the same timeline, it's going to be intense and rough, and most people won't know what that is or how to handle it. But if you create your world, if you visualize it, if you write it down, if you create it in your own mind and you have visions of it, if you ask to dream of it, if you ask to go into the astral plane at night and actually help create it, do those things and it will shift your life,
It
you know?
will, and
Yeah.
it's so important because every aligned action, no matter how small, tells your nervous system, I can trust myself. I wrote that
Mhm.
down. That was, as I do these episodes, we put these episodes together. I put notes together to make sure that sometimes we're a little behind on where we're supposed to be at, but it's okay
Yeah.
because we're not, we don't put them together to follow these exactly, but to make sure that we
Mhm.
cover the things that we need to share with you all, because it's so important that we
It
share
is.
these things. And if you go back and you look at these episodes, you'll see the comments and how they're affecting people. And that's a beautiful situation. When you see that happening for people, that's beautiful. And plus, we want more people to come and join us in the community, the free community at
Mhm.
stepyourpower.com. But I wrote something, you had said something about, let me read this. So living alignment in relationships, speaking truth with love, financial alignment, spending, investing in resonance with value, health alignment, listening to your body signals, rest and nourishment. It's just overall alignment. I mean, you really got to listen to yourself and what's in alignment with you, your truth, who you are, your integrity, your love, the person that you are. Is this in alignment with me? Is
Yeah.
this something that I'm in aligned with? Because once you get yourself in alignment with the majority of the things in your life, that overflow kicks in overdrive, and you have plenty of it to flow out to others and bring more people
Mhm.
the same thing, help more people, guide more people. Not that Sister Honey or myself, we can't force any, nor would we want to. There's free will, but we can talk to people based on our experiences. We can talk to people based on what we're seeing. We can talk to people based on what we're seeing happening in the community. We can help people that way. We can help guide people. No one can walk anyone else's journey. And
Mm-mm.
that's another situation that we have going on, Sister Honey, where a lot of people, they're so wrapped up in someone else's journey, they're not paying attention of their own alignment within their journey.
Yeah, and that's a bypass. So if you're doing that, you're bypassing your own journey. And one of the biggest and most important things is to go inside versus always looking outside. And it's one of the hardest things to get your ego to let you do. And maybe a lot of people, that's where they're at in this transition that we're actually in, is to see that they need to go inside. That's where you create overflow from. You can't do it if you're just watching other people do everything and wondering how they're thinking about you and wondering what they're doing and wondering what's happening all the time in the outside and what they're going to give to you and say to you. Those things don't matter. It's you that matters. So when you're looking at the outside all the time and bypassing yourself, then you're not creating overflow, you're creating lack.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
important.
So I have another statement here. Confidence isn't a gift, it's the fruit of alignment. When your choices match your truth, overflow becomes inevitable. So the more alignment you are within who you are and your truth, the more overflow just happens in a
Yeah.
natural way, and then you can help others. There's nothing more satisfying than helping other folks. Helping other
Mhm.
folks. And I've been, I really love what I'm seeing going on in stepinyourpower.com. And again, I want you all to, go on over there. We've got probably about another 10 minutes here, but go on over there and join us at stepinyourpower.com. And you're going to have all the tools you need to help you move through these 4 seeker stages that we talk about and get into expanding and then overflowing. And then if you get in there and you feel the community, you join us in Ascension Mastery and get involved in what we're doing to build the new world, focusing on the new, not watching the crumbling. If you haven't watched
Mhm.
our episode, The Crumbling, you should watch it, because do not focus on the crumbling. Focus on the new stuff. Focus on this alignment side of everything in your life. Does it resonate with you? Is it in alignment with who you are as a person?
Mhm.
Your truth, your integrity, your love. Is it in alignment with that? So I think we've covered, one of the things I'll say is, where in your life are you being invited into deeper alignment right now? So think about that. Think about that. You need to really
Mhm.
spend time on you and think about these things and write them down, and then take action. Don't procrastinate. Take action and put more things in your life that are going to serve your higher self, and get rid of the things that are not. It's that, at the end of the day, it's really that simple. Not
It
that
is.
all of these things that you do to move yourself into a higher vibration and, an overflow are really super difficult. They're not. They're things that are in alignment with who you are and what you are, and they're going to come, like, they're going to feel so good when you're doing them. So just do them. But you've got to
Hmm.
first, discover where you're currently at. And that's why, you know, you alignment, not align, not align, align, and just do a column exercise and start working on it. It's so, so important. So in our last segment, before we go into your little activation that we're going to do for everybody, we're talking about when overflow becomes a service. And we talk about this a lot on the Ascension Mastery Mastermind, because we got a lot of people that want to, they have a business, and we talk
Hmm.
about, that in business is really important, that overflow is happening too. What's your thoughts about when overflow becomes a service, Estrada?
Well, I think that a lot of people are giving a lot for, also attracting business as they're giving. So just like what we're doing now, we're giving information and we're attracting people to our project that we're doing. Yes, it's a free project, but there are things in there that you can pay for and you can go further in there with your own ascension process because you'll have more tools. But we're also not giving all of our knowledge away because we also need to receive something at some times too. But a lot of it is overflow, what we're doing. So look at that platform and look at the things that are free. Those are overflow. And the things that cost money, those are not overflow. They are something that will take you further in whatever it is. Like, if it speaks to you, then, and you're like, well, this is going to take me further in my process, then that's for you. So letting go of the idea of always having to like give too much in order to receive something, I think is important here too. But overflow can be very easy. We have a lot of energy that we give away all day long. So give it away with love, give it away in an easy way. Don't give it away begrudgingly. And maybe this is to somebody who is not treating you nice and you're giving them energy. Maybe you're doing things for them that they don't really, and this sounds mean, but they don't deserve it because they're being mean to you all day long. So think about that. Or maybe they're making you feel bad about yourself. Maybe you're in a situation that isn't the best, but if you start to switch the way that you behave, and maybe you don't give out of lack, out of what am I going to do if I don't have this person? Give to the people that give back to you, that love you, that care about you. And they may just be giving you a smile. But if you're saying something to them about how you appreciate them for something that they've done for you, or you're appreciating just the way that they walk through the world, that is giving through overflow. Sometimes you're giving energy to someone because maybe they have a headache, you know? Don't make it so big and so intense. It's not like you have to give a brand new car to everyone. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've got a couple notes here. It says overflow is never just for us. When we walk as overflow, others drink from the river too. Your overflow nourishes your family, community, and even strangers. Service is a natural fruit of overflow, not a burden. And overflow touches everything it flows past. And who in the world, your world, is blessed when you choose to walk as overflow? Think about that. Who are you blessing in your world? Well, I bless my family. I'm
Mhm.
blessing the community within Step Into Your Power. like Sister Honey said, we have a lot of things in there that are at no cost. They're totally free. They help you move through all the 4 seeker stages into expansion and overflow. If you want to be involved in the other things, you can come and join us, like this here, which I didn't even talk about yet, who helps sponsor
Right.
these episodes and the free community, which is Bodyline Energy Wellness at bodyline.com/power. And you can find the link in the description. But these are all energy wellness frequency based tools for energetic balance and vibrational alignment. I mean, this helps me tremendously. And this on my cell phone, this little disc here, and these on my monitor help me tremendously because they're giving me good frequencies, not all of the nasty stuff that we're getting from the TV set and all of that. Plus, you should have salt lamps. There's crystals. There's so many things that can help you. These negative ion situations, air purifiers. Make sure that your sanctuary at home, your home, is, you've got these kind of things in there, that these are helping you with your energy, helping you keep positive energy. So it's so important to get into a point where that bucket is overflowing with the positive energy, that you're like a machine, like a nuclear reactor of positive energy, and you have enough to pass on to others, of course, your family, and then others, to help them. It literally helps them. You walk in a room with somebody who's super positive, has great energy, you feel great, right? It's a great thing. So let's go into the next fateful step. So it's activation. So you have those. I think you have those notes. I know you want to do a little bit of activation here for everybody, because it's been rough for a lot of people. It's been rough for them. It really has been. And today at noon, which is, it's an hour and 18 minutes ago, I did post something, a 7-minute reset for energy wellness in the community. It's in the community. You can get that for, it's free. And kind of anytime somebody's feeling out of alignment or they're feeling overwhelmed or whatever, just take 7 minutes and walk through this process and reset yourself. But go ahead, Sister Honey, and guide us on an activation here for all of us.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. And what we're going to do is imagine that we're getting grounded. So pop your shoes off if you have shoes on, and imagine that your feet are on the ground, no matter what kind of surface they're on. And I want you to go ahead and imagine that you're growing roots out of the bottoms of your feet. And those roots are going to go all the way down to the center of earth. And they're going to absorb energy from all the soil on the way down. And once they get to that center cavern where Mother's Earth, her soul lives, once they get there, they're going to wrap themselves around the amethyst crystals that line her cavern. And it's massive. So just imagine that. And you're absorbing all of that energy, all of that strength. And Mother Earth is allowing you to do that. And she's asking you to do it because she's participating with you right now. And I want you then to go and look at your body and remember that it's a light body. And I want you to light it up just like a light bulb. Okay, so we're going to turn it almost like it's on a dimmer switch. We're going to turn it up. And I want you to ask for your body to start to really, truly let go of the habits you no longer need, so that you can start to create the habits that are in your highest good. And take a really deep breath here. And I want you to turn it halfway up. So let's say this would be about 50. If you were a light bulb, you'd be at 50%. And you're just going to shine. And your whole body's lit up, inside and outside. Just imagine that. The outline of your body is a bright, bright yellow. And then let's turn it up to 75%. Take a really deep breath, and we're going to turn it up to 100%. So all the way. And your body is going to be pure white light. And take a really deep breath. And just exhale out your mouth and say to yourself in your head, you're letting go of all that you don't need. Go ahead and turn the light down just a little bit. Calm it down a little bit. Go back to 50%. And you can go ahead and take a deep breath and open your eyes again. And just feel that release. You can do that anytime.
Yeah, it's so important. And again, that article that went up, that post that went up, it's an article under the Bodyline Energy Wellness that went up and gives that 7-minute reset. And if you just do that, just whatever's going on, if it's too much, stop. Yeah. Just stop and go do it. Even if you're at work, go to the bathroom.
Go hide in the bathroom.
And go do that. Go do that 7-minute. It's so super important. So again, the blood moon reminds us of what to release. And the 9-9 portal opens the way forward. Completion is never the end. It's the threshold of overflow. So it's important that whatever's meant to end in our career and things that aren't serving us, we let it go with love and gratitude. And that we welcome what's coming in new with love and gratitude. Because, it's interesting. We have a person in the community, I'm not going to say who it is, but they've been going through a lot, they want to leave their job because they've got this other thing going on. You know who this person is. They do videos and they got a talent of just doing beautiful stuff. And now when I commented, I watched the video that he put out and I told him, there's bigger things for you than you even can imagine right now. What's going to happen. Just let this old stuff go that isn't serving you. It's so super important. So what step came forward for you? How will you commit to walking it? So how are you going to do this? You need to lay this out and just do it. Make it part of your life, right? It doesn't have to be massive. Overflow starts small, take the step, and the river will carry you. So you don't need to worry about doing this gigantic thing. Just do these small things that serve you and that are in alignment with who you are and your love and you'll have that overflow. That will help you. Okay, let me look at any of these other notes, Sister Honey, to see if I missed anything before we close this up today. But make sure that you watch the other episodes that we put out. And again, make sure that you come over and hang out with us over at stepintoyourpower.com. There's so many beautiful brothers and sisters in that community that are loving on each other, that are praying for each other, that are sending each other energy, that are helping send information to help lift each other up. It's amazing. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take Sister Honey's word for it. Just go see yourself. You can see in 2 seconds. You go over there, maybe more than 2 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. You fill out your name and your email and you're in. And then you go into Begin Here page and you go through and learn how to navigate the community and its portals and introduce yourself and engage. And you need some prayer, go over to the prayer request, ask for prayer. You're going to see me in there asking for it. You see my son in there asking for it. You're going to see other brothers and sisters in there asking for it. Don't ever be embarrassed to ask for prayer. People are here to help you. So any closing comments before we go, Sister Honey, today?
Just love yourself and be willing to actually recreate your own life. That's what I would say.
Okay. And then the reflection is, what is one way you will walk as Overflow this week? And how can we as a community support that? So remember, we're here to support you. Come on over. We love you all very much. Thank you for
Yes.
watching. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank you.